Hello.
There we go.
Howdy.
Howdy. Do you have a face?
No.
Oh.
Well, I do. Is that all right? Or...
Yeah, that's fine.
I was going to say, we're vaguely connected because you're familiar with a couple of guys from FNT, right? Or Geeks and Gamers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see them every once in a while. We sort of make stuff together.
Oh, you pals with them?
Yeah.
Oh,
Jeremy,
cool. Okay.
on very
All
good
right.
terms with, and Ryan.
I didn't know what I'm getting into.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, if you're one
There's
of the
no-
boys. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, I think the people in chat are just excited. That's all. Like they,
Okay, cool. All
this
right.
happens on all kinds
Yeah,
of
I
shows,
never
you know?
know what I get.
Yeah, no. Well, so you occupy a really interesting space in Star Wars fandom for me because I often sort of see a split. Let's say, like with TLJ, it's the people who love it, the people who hate it. Is typically how it goes. There's some people who are indifferent somewhat, but you like with the Disney era and the development of the Filoni stuff, the Favreau stuff. I feel like there's loads of splinters now, and so I thought your video was fascinating when you were saying like enough is enough. You know, Disney's been damaged in this way, that way, and the other.
Right.
We on EFAP and my channel, we believe like the rot sets in second Disney buys Star Wars. Like it's already game over almost.
Yeah.
Controversially, we thought that Mando season 1 was significantly flawed for writing. Like it damages characters, it damages world building, but we were relatively tolerant of it. Season 2 was much worse, and then season 3 was like catastrophic. And then if you move over to Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi, we thought those were awful, and I think we share very similar reasoning on like why for Kenobi, for example. Then there's Ahsoka, which I think you guys like relative fans of 1 through 6 episodes, and there's 7 and 8 other ones.
1 through 6.
Yeah.
I enjoyed, and then 7 and 8.
Yeah, we were of the impression that like the show from the get-go was already in serious trouble, like in terms of writing, pacing, sort of different aspects. But you know, we still appreciate a lot of the stuff that I think you guys probably would have loved, right? Like I still think the best thing of the show is Ray Stevenson.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing, is that it's in every Star Wars project they make, it's still at the end of the day has Star Wars, so it's going to have these underlying themes of a lightsaber or the Force or something, but at the end of the day, that's not exactly what makes Star Wars what Star Wars is. And I think that's where you come in, is you really kind of make that evident that it's not just about using the Force or being a Skywalker or whatever. There's so much more to it.
I was going to say that sort of feels like maybe where we split significantly, where I thought Andor was excellent and it's the best thing that Disney's ever made for Star Wars, while you don't want to sell you in a particular way, but you think it's boring and maybe good, but not Star Wars. Blade Runner-ish is
You know, when I was watching it, I actually was enjoying the show. I just wanted to see a lot more in terms of something happening, I guess. I wanted to see Jedi and lightsabers and this and that. And I think because I've been so deprived from Disney, I'm just hungry for it at this point, where I just constantly I want to see it, because we got a glimpse of that little bit at the end of Mando season 2 with Luke, and I mean, that's it. That's all that I've been fed. So it's like I want more.
Would it be safe to say that that's probably you'd consider one of the greatest things to come out of Disney Star Wars, Mando 2 season 2 finale?
No. If that were the case, then I would choose a fan film that was just pure action or whatever, pure lightsabers to be the best sort of thing. But it's not the case. It was just a moment that really captivated me after The Last Jedi, and feeling, I was in a position where like I am the largest Star Wars channel, and so I'm kind of like I don't want to propagate anger and hatred, and I don't want to propagate being a shill. So it's like I felt I have to kind of sit in this middle position where like I'm very hopeful that Lucasfilm would come up with something that obviously makes sense with The Last Jedi. At that point, season 2, was Rise out yet? I think Rise was already out, so it was done.
Of Skywalker?
Oh,
yeah.
Rise Skywalker was out.
Yeah, it was already done. So for me, it was like, wow. We actually get to see Luke Skywalker in some capacity that we wanted to see him in the last 40 plus years, which was amazing. We only saw him for a few minutes, and he just comes in there kind of like he did at the end with Jabba's palace with the Gamorrean guards, just very stoic and very in control. And it was like, just took me back to being a child. For me, that's not the best moment that Disney has made in Star Wars. I think the best project would have to probably be either Tales of the Jedi, or I did really like Rogue One, but yeah, probably Tales of the Jedi or Clone Wars season 7.
Yeah. Okay.
Not the Martez sisters part, but the last 4 episodes.
The last 4.
Yeah. That was to me, okay.
Revenge of the Sith.
Over on my corner of the internet, we create reactions to a lot of the Star Wars shows. They come out a bit later because we edit them up sort of for copyright protection and animations and stuff. Yeah. We kind of hated the season 2 finale for Mando, and the reason was we felt the writing was on the wall. When TLJ happened, a lot of the criticism of it, I don't know if you remember, they were like, you idiots, you all you wanted was to Luke to just turn up and kill all of the AT-AT. He's looking awesome, blah, blah, blah. Instead of appreciating the character arc, appreciating his nature, that he was actually the true hero. He embodied Luke Skywalker, even though he doubted it himself.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you're familiar with my work, but I despise TLJ. I think it's like one of the worst insults to a franchise that ever existed. It damaged everything.
Agreed.
And I think that on a sort of wider scale, it destroyed potentially one of the most profitable IPs in history by splintering the fan base. Like, it's clean cut in two, which is not something you really want to do. Now, I thought that Disney were going to reflexively overcompensate thanks to that reaction with giving us stuff like, hey, look, Luke's there and he's killing robots now, okay?
Yeah.
And they're so careful about it. They're not even willing to have him talk very much. They're not willing to have him interact very much. There's like, look at him. He's like he's in carbonite. They don't want him to be touched. He's really cool. He kills stuff. He's strong. Please don't say anything else. And that's why that finale felt so weird to us. He just turns up. He doesn't talk to anybody. He doesn't want to know what's going on. He's not curious at all about all the roles of the people in that room. We don't know much about why he's there beyond that, and it feels like it's just not Luke Skywalker at all. We call him Luke Skinwalker, and we did again because of obviously the animation and the graphic design on him as well. And then we were like, shit, is this the future for Star Wars? Is this all we're going to be getting? And then, of course, if I was to label to you as you're familiar with, what did they do with Qui-Gon in the Kenobi show? What was that? Absolute disrespect. What did they do with Obi-Wan when he needed the strength to defeat Darth Vader? He thought about Leia. Dude. I'm not saying you can't have her as an inspiration, but where's Qui-Gon? Where's Luke? And you're familiar with how bad Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi are, but like these criticisms we have, I feel reflect quite significantly on some of the stuff that you guys, as far as I'm aware, praise. We see Kathleen Kennedy as a problem, as of course has been highlighted now by South Park. But we actually see Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni also to blame for damaging Star Wars. Meanwhile, I think you see them as more the correct custodians to take it forward.
I think they're the only custodians we have. Unless we get new talent in there. I mean, who else is a better option than these guys?